You should never disregard the 6 early warning signs of dementia. Over 55 million individuals worldwide suffer from Alzheimer's disease, a neurological disorder that progressively worsens. For those aged 45 and above, it is the leading cause of reliance and impairment. The idea that dementia is an indication of aging is a prevalent one. But in reality, the illness starts to show symptoms decades before any overt signs appear. Long-term brain health can be improved, and illness progression can be slowed down by identifying early warning signs. Let's examine 6 dementia early warning signs that are commonly disregarded. Modest changes in gait, balance, and coordination, together with changes in posture, may be signs of neurological abnormalities. Early signs of this illness include dragging feet, shorter steps, and trouble using utensils. Dementia and other sensory disorders can affect a person's capacity to sense fragrance, depth, and spatial awareness. Furthermore, there is a link between a higher risk of neurological impairment and increased sensitivity to noise or hearing loss. Studies that examine muscle weakness have linked older adults who have a diminished grip strength to a higher risk of developing dementia in later life. A developing sleep problem may manifest as sleep difficulties, insomnia, excessive daytime sleepiness, frequent nightmares or restless movements during sleep, loss of interest in pastimes and activities, social isolation, and apathy. Social events and family get-togethers can reveal signs of the emotional changes associated with dementia. Aphasia, difficulty remembering familiar terminology, difficulty finding words, or misnaming objects are sometimes among the earliest signs that can be linked to Alzheimer's disease. Early detection of these signs makes it possible to put preventative measures into place, such as mental stimulation, exercise, a healthy diet, and restful sleep, all of which can help halt the decline of cognitive capacities. I would be very grateful if you could let me know where you are coming from today. Before we begin, please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Additionally, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss the best health advice available from Senior Health. And I would like to know if you agree with me if you are watching right now. If you think this video speaks to you, please leave a remark with a score of 1. If not, enter 0 instead. Early identification is crucial for symptom management and quality of life improvement. First, posture changes. Therefore, changes in posture and gait are commonly overlooked as normal signs of aging. Because movement tells a story, they may nevertheless be used as early indicators of dementia. The brain plays an important role in both balance and coordination. There is also a chance that motor control will be compromised when cognitive abilities decline. Individuals may start walking with shorter strides or by dragging their feet instead of properly raising them. Frequent stumbles or trouble navigating familiar areas could be the result of an inability to maintain balance. It's likely that problems with coordination will show up, making it hard to do everyday tasks like holding a cup or using cutlery. A lack of motor control may be indicated by the emergence of a slumped posture or a propensity to tilt to one side. Even though these minor alterations might not seem concerning at first, they may eventually become more apparent, which could impair mobility and raise the chance of falling. 2. There are sensory issues, the brain's interpretation of reality. The effects of dementia extend beyond memory. It also has the ability to interfere with sensory perception. The brain processes the information we get from our senses. People who suffer from neuronal degeneration may have trouble seeing depth, misjudging distances, pouring liquids, or climbing stairs. Climbing stairs may be one of the other symptoms. 3. There are issues with spatial awareness. Experiencing regular contact with furniture or feeling disoriented in busy areas. There is a loss of flavor and fragrance. It is well known that early deterioration in the cognitive capacity to detect smells is linked to some forms of dementia, most notably Alzheimer's disease. Both hearing loss and noise sensitivity are symptoms. It's possible for someone to become hypersensitive to very loud noises, or have trouble telling voices in a noisy setting. Middle-aged hearing loss is significantly associated with a higher incidence of dementia and memory loss. According to study, Untreated hearing loss makes the brain work harder to process sound, which over time may result in cognitive strain and even memory loss. 3. It is the body's way of telling you that your muscles are weak. It's common to underestimate the connection between mental health and muscle strength. However, studies have shown a strong association between a reduced grip strength in older adults and a higher risk of developing dementia. A decrease in the capacity to carry groceries, open jars, or hold objects firmly may be a sign of early brain changes. There is a link between a decline in muscle mass and an increased risk of overall frailty. Your cognitive abilities will deteriorate more quickly if you are weak in your arms or legs. Since you may discover that you exercise less, maintaining muscular fitness may help delay the beginning of dementia-related deterioration, because it has been shown that physical activity and strength training can protect brain function. 4. Sleep disturbances at night are a serious early warning indicator in addition to being a sign of dementia. Difficulty sleeping may also be the cause of the illness. While many older adults experience changes in their sleeping habits, some of these changes could be signs of underlying cognitive decline. A person may start to feel extremely exhausted and need frequent naps if they have been sleeping too much during the day, or if they have never napped before. Sleep problems include symptoms like insomnia and interrupted sleep, trouble falling asleep, frequent nighttime awakenings, or waking up too early without feeling rested. Dementia with Lewy bodies has been linked to REM sleep behavior disorder, which is typified by involuntary movements like talking, punching, or kicking as you sleep. Movement issues and restless sleep are two more potential signs of this illness. Frequent and severe dreams, sleep terrors, or extremely vivid nightmares can all be early indicators of neurological problems. Lack of sleep accelerates the decline of cognitive capacities and contributes to inflammation in the brain. Therefore, treating sleep issues early on can help safeguard the long-term health of the brain. 5th, loss of enthusiasm for life, apathy, and social disengagement. Apathy is one of the first emotional signs of dementia, despite the fact that it is occasionally mistaken for depression or the aging process. Individuals experiencing cognitive decline may become disinterested in once enjoyed hobbies, jobs, or social interactions. Avoid social gatherings or participate less actively in discussions. Show less emotion in response to either joyful or unpleasant experiences. The person exhibits a lack of motivation to start work or daily tasks. The explanation for this emotional detachment is dementia, which impairs the brain's capacity to control emotions and social behavior. Despite the fact that grief and apathy might seem extremely similar, dementia and apathy are often persistent and unrelated to outside events. 6th, aphasia, a great need to communicate and difficulty finding the correct words. One of the earliest signs of dementia that has been recognized from the start is difficulty speaking. There are several ways in which the disease known as aphasia might manifest itself: having trouble recalling basic sentences or using the wrong words, as saying shirt instead of jacket. Struggling to find the right things to say, which results in a lot of pauses throughout interactions. Repeatedly using the same words or phrases without realizing it, losing sight of well-known names, including those of close relatives. It is common for aphasia to appear years before dementia is definitively diagnosed. Additionally, it may worsen over time, making communication more difficult. If you notice these signs, what should you do? It is critical that you get medical attention right away if you or a loved one is displaying numerous early signs of dementia. Early intervention may be useful in identifying the presence of other conditions that may cause similar symptoms, such as stress, thyroid disorders, or vitamin deficiencies. Make therapies that could postpone the decline of cognitive ability accessible. Give people and families the chance to make any necessary changes to their way of life and to plan for the future. Actions taken to protect brain health. Research has revealed that some lifestyle choices can significantly reduce the risk of acquiring dementia, despite the fact that there is presently no known cure for the illness. Activities that demand cognitive processing, like learning new skills, solving puzzles, or speaking several languages, might help build cognitive reserve. Continue your usual exercise regimen. The benefits of physical activity include improved neuroplasticity and increased blood flow to the brain. Make sure your diet is healthy for your brain. The main components of the Mediterranean and Mind diets are lean proteins, healthy fats, and antioxidants, respectively. Manage conditions that are persistent. Controlling diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol lowers the risk of dementia. Development. Prioritize getting a good night's sleep. Deep sleep helps remove toxins from the brain, which are a contributing factor to neurodegeneration. Although dementia is a complex condition, identifying the early warning symptoms can significantly impact the way the disease is treated. If people and families can identify minor changes in mobility, sensory perception, sleep, emotions, and language, they can take proactive steps towards diagnosis, treatment, and lifestyle improvements. Early detection is crucial. Keep a close eye on these symptoms and seek medical advice if you have any concerns. Taking action now could help ensure brain health is protected for many years to come. It is crucial that you never ignore these 10 traditional signs of dementia. Dementia is a progressive neurological disorder that is detrimental to memory, cognitive function, and daily functioning. The symptoms might not be very apparent at first, but when the illness worsens, the symptoms become more obvious. These symptoms may make it difficult for a person to stay independent, communicate, and move through familiar situations. Better symptom management and an improvement in quality of life are made possible when people and families are able to identify these conventional indications and seek medical help early. 1. Memory loss, which involves forgetting more than just names and dates. One of the most obvious symptoms of dementia is memory loss. As is well known, however, there are additional issues to be concerned about besides forgetting someone's name or where they left their keys. Dementia is characterized by a progressive loss of short-term and long-term memory that affects daily functioning. It's possible that the person will struggle to remember recent conversations, appointments, or events. They could repeatedly recite the same story without realizing they have already done so. Regretfully, they cannot travel back in time to find the essential items they have lost, such as their wallets, spectacles, or prescription drugs. It's possible that long-term memories will initially hold up. Even significant life events, personal histories, and loved ones' names may lose their distinctiveness over time. By the time they get to the final stages of dementia, people might not even recognize their closest relatives. There are phases to memory loss, and these phases advance in phases. 2. Talks are hard to follow, and it's easy to get off subject as dementia progresses. It is typical for patients to experience trouble carrying on conversations. Communication becomes more difficult as a result of the brain's diminished ability to understand, remember, and respond to information. They might lose their train of thought in the middle of a statement, which could lead to rambling or confused conversations. Not being able to find the right words could lead to the use of confusing or erroneous language, as employing the phrase thing in place of an object's name. It's possible that they will repeat themselves multiple times in a single conversation. When these people are in an environment with background noise, such a busy cafe or a crowded room, they have extremely trouble focusing and understanding conversation. They don't even realize they're doing this. These problems can cause people to withdraw from social interactions because they may feel angry or embarrassed about their poor communication skills. 3. They undergo changes in their mood and personality that lead to a new version of themselves. The brain's capacity to control emotions is impacted by Alzheimer's disease, which can lead to noticeable changes in mood and personality. An individual who was formerly positive may become reclusive, skeptic, or annoyed. It's probable that they might become disinterested in things carousel to enjoy, such hobbies, and socializing with friends. Experiencing elevated levels of anxiety, despair, or agitation is possible, especially in unexpected circumstances. Some people develop paranoia, which is the conviction that others are plotting against them or stealing from them in order to benefit themselves. It is common for family members to notice these changes before the individual does. As time passes, these changes grow more significant, affecting daily interactions as well as relationships. Fourth, poor problem-solving and decision-making abilities, as well as making unsafe decisions. Dementia patients often suffer a decline in their cognitive and decision-making abilities, leading to potentially dangerous or nonsensical choices. They can have trouble managing their money, be prone to falling for scams, or make impulsive purchases. Even seemingly simple tasks like following a recipe, making payments, or planning errands can become difficult and complex. It is probable that they will dress inappropriately, such wearing pajamas to the store or a heavy coat in the summer. As the illness worsens, people become less able to assess risks, which makes them more likely to put themselves in potentially dangerous situations. For instance, they might leave the cooker running or go outside in dangerous weather. 5. Confusion about time and place, as well as a propensity to get lost easily. Patients with Alzheimer's disease may become disoriented even in familiar surroundings, and often struggle to keep track of time. They lose track of the days, months, and even years that have gone by, and they are incapable of telling the difference between the past and the present. In later stages, it is common for them to lose their sense of direction in places they have known for years, such as the grocery store or their own neighborhood. Additionally, individuals could become confused in a familiar setting, or forget why they entered a room. They might talk about things that happened decades ago, as though they were happening now, which could give them the impression that they are in a different decade. One may roam as a result of this confusion, increasing the risk of becoming lost or running into potentially dangerous situations. 6. Repetitive questioning is the practice of repeatedly posing the same query. Furthermore, a person with dementia could ask the same question more than once, perhaps even after they have been given a response. They will still ask about the date, their itinerary, or when a family member would arrive. They lose track of the fact that they asked the same inquiry only moments before, because of their brain's incapacity to remember fresh information. The carers and family members may experience stress from the repeat of this activity if the person is unable to identify their own behavior. Calendars and written notes are examples of visual reminders that can be used to help the person and those close to them feel less frustrated. 7 examples of misplacing items in odd locations, like finding the phone in the refrigerator. Everyone occasionally forgets things, but forgetfulness brought on by dementia is a different matter. People might place items like a phone in the refrigerator, keys in the sugar jar, or shoes in their house oven instead of where they make the most sense. They become more irritated and suspicious since they can't go back and find the items they've lost. Once they have grown to a more advanced stage, they may accuse others of stealing their belongings if they are unable to find them. It is challenging to handle because of these odd placements, which are caused by disrupted memory pathways, even the simplest of pursuits. 8. The experience of seeing things that are not there is known as hallucinations. Hallucinations are a concerning, but common sign of later stages of dementia, particularly Lewy body dementia, and severe Alzheimer's disease. Persons may see persons who are not there, hear phantom voices, or sense an invisible presence that defies explanation. There are persons who mistakenly believe they smell things like smoke or food that isn't there. These hallucinations can occasionally be quite frightening, leading to aggressive or paranoid behavior. A medical evaluation is essential, required to rule out other possible causes, such as infections or the negative effects of medication. 9. The inability to control one's bowel and pee motions is a sign of severe dementia. As dementia develops, the brain's capacity to regulate physiological processes deteriorates, potentially leading to urine and fecal incontinence. People may not recognize the need to use the lavatory or may lose track of the location of the lavatory. This symptom may cause anxiety and humiliation, which may then result in social disengagement and hygiene issues. When it comes to incontinence management, carers usually use routines and reminders effectively. As it gets harder to undertake personal care and daily hygiene, incontinence is often a turning point for people living in assisted living facilities or giving full-time care. 10. Early detection is crucial. Early diagnosis and treatment of dementia depend on the capacity to recognize these 10 hallmark signs of the illness. Although there isn't a cure, early identification of these warning signs allows for medical evaluation and treatment to slow the disease's progression. Lifestyle modifications like exercising and brain-stimulating activities, as well as family planning and caregiving arrangements to offer safety and support when needed. If you see any of these symptoms in yourself or a family member, get in touch with a doctor right away. In order to maintain healthy brain function, taking preventative steps can help preserve cognitive function and improve quality of life for as long as feasible. This is one strategy to prevent dementia, according to research. Lifestyle decisions have a big impact on preventing or delaying cognitive deterioration. Although there is presently no cure for dementia, people can integrate healthy behaviors into their lives to reduce their risk and protect their brain function well into old age. Here is a list of some of the best ways to keep your brain functioning at its highest level and lower your risk of developing dementia. Develop a cognitive reserve. Keep learning and challenge your brain's capabilities. The brain can be compared to a muscle. It will get more potent the more often you use it, building connections in the brain through lifelong learning and mental stimulation is a key component of developing cognitive reserve. Studies have shown that people who engage in activities that demand a high level of cognitive complexity throughout their life have a lesser chance of developing dementia. Engage in activities that teach you new abilities, including learning a new language, solving puzzles, playing strategy-based games, or playing an instrument. You should attempt reading books, taking educational programs, or engaging in activities that enhance problem-solving skills. Participating in social activities like chess, storytelling, or debate can help to stimulate brain function and build resilience against cognitive decline. Even when age-related changes occur, the brain can compensate for the loss of neurons and postpone the onset of dementia symptoms when a strong cognitive reserve is developed. Regular exercise promotes brain development and enhances circulation in the battle against dementia. Physical activity is one of the best strategies. Regular exercise supports the maintenance of memory and cognitive function by improving circulation, oxygenating the brain, and stimulating neuronal growth. Walking, swimming, and cycling are examples of aerobic exercises that enhance blood flow to the brain and decrease inflammation. Using exercises like resistance training, weightlifting, and body weight to build muscle and increase neuroplasticity by creating new neural pathways. Exercise allows the brain to grow and adapt. As little as 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week can help improve mental health and lower the risk of dementia, because the brain benefits just as much from everything that benefits the heart. The maintenance of cardiovascular health through physical activity can help prevent cognitive decline and brain shrinkage. Eating foods that are good for the brain is vital. The importance of nutrition in longevity and brain health cannot be overstated. It has been shown that a number of diets can enhance cognitive performance and reduce the risk of dementia. Lean meats, healthy fats, complete grains, and fresh vegetables from the Mediterranean region are all abundant in the Mediterranean diet. An eating regimen called the MIND diet, a variation of the Mediterranean diet, promotes the growth of neurons and helps lower inflammation. It highlights foods that are good for the brain, such leafy greens, berries, almonds, and olive oil, which are believed to help prevent Alzheimer's disease. Certain studies have demonstrated that a diet high in fat and low in carbohydrates, referred to as the ketogenic diet, enhances cognitive function by providing the brain with ketones, an alternate energy source. Neurodegeneration is caused by both oxidative damage and inflammation. Therefore, limiting oxidative damage and reducing inflammation can be achieved by avoiding processed meals, refined carbs, and trans fats. Proactively manage your health and take charge of long-term conditions. Chronic conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and sleep apnea have been found to be strongly associated with an elevated risk of dementia. The treatment of some disorders can considerably slow down cognitive decline. Diabetes and high blood sugar both harm the brain's blood vessels, increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Controlling insulin levels with diet, exercise, and medication is a crucial part of managing hypertension. Vascular dementia is brought on by high blood pressure, which reduces blood flow to the brain. Controlling blood pressure has a positive impact on cognitive function. It is well recognized that obesity and excess weight, especially visceral fat, lead to inflammation, which increases the risk of dementia. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle has several advantages, including helping to control weight and protecting the brain. Sleep apnea, another name for inadequate breathing during sleep, deprives the brain of oxygen, which can lead to memory problems and brain shrinkage. Sleep apnea can be treated to enhance cognitive function. Improve your sleep quality and give your brain time to rest. Deep sleep is a critical component in the removal of harmful substances from the brain. As a person falls asleep, the glymphatic system removes beta amyloid and tau proteins from the brain, which have been linked to Alzheimer's disease. You should aim for 7 to 9 uninterrupted hours of sleep every night. Avoid using electronics in the hours before bed, and stick to a regular sleep routine. Because alcohol and caffeine interfere with deep sleep cycles, you should limit your use of these substances. If you have disturbed sleep or persistent insomnia, discuss with your doctor how to find any underlying issues such as sleep apnea. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule helps the brain mend itself, which reduces the risk of dementia and enhances memory. Quit smoking and limit your alcohol intake. Stop excessive alcohol consumption. Tobacco use and neurodegeneration both accelerate the progression of neurodegeneration and the aging process of the brain. Numerous studies have linked heavy drinking and smoking to an increased risk of developing vascular dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Smoking reduces the amount of oxygen that reaches the brain, which damages neurons and accelerates cognitive decline. There is a significant correlation between quitting smoking and a lower risk of dementia. The memory, logic, and problem-solving skills of an individual are impacted when excessive alcohol consumption damages brain cells. Limiting alcohol use can help protect a healthy brain for the preservation of cognitive function and the prevention of long-term brain damage. Quitting smoking and moderate alcohol use are both advantageous. Even minor changes can make a big difference. Dementia does not develop naturally as people age. People can significantly lower their risk and maintain their cognitive function well into old age by developing brain-friendly behaviors. Important things to remember. Keep learning. Engage in tasks that will challenge your cognitive talents. Continue to lead an active lifestyle. Exercise helps boost brain function and circulation. Eat a balanced diet. The aim of a well-balanced diet is to prevent neurodegeneration. Health problems need to be controlled. Keep your diabetes, blood pressure, and weight under control. Have a restful night's sleep. Deep sleep is vital to the brain's detoxification process. Refrain from smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. Cognitive decline and neuropathic deterioration should be minimized. Although there is currently no cure for dementia, adopting these preventative steps can improve overall brain health and reduce the disease's progression. You will reap greater benefits the earlier you begin. Invest in your brain today to secure a healthier future. The latest dementia treatments have been created, believing in the future. There has been a significant breakthrough in dementia research in recent years, which has given those who are in danger of cognitive decline hope. The most promising advancements in the study of Alzheimer's disease are new drugs like lecanemab and donanemab, which have demonstrated the ability to remove dangerous beta amyloid plaques, one of the main causes of the disease. What mechanism of action do these new drugs have? Lecanemab and donanemab are monoclonal antibodies that belong to a new class of antibodies that are intended to target and eradicate amyloid plaques from the brain. Studies have shown that these drugs can prevent cognitive decline in people with Alzheimer's disease in its early stages. This has the potential to be a major advancement in dementia care. Although these treatments do not cure the disease, they constitute a major advancement in managing the condition and improving the quality of life for patients and carers. This is how dementia care will develop in the future. Researchers are optimistic that further advancements in dementia research could result in the creation of more therapeutically effective medications in the upcoming years. Current research is looking on combination therapy, which focus on addressing several aspects of neurodegeneration, addressing the genetic factors that lead to dementia with gene therapy. Treatments involving brain stimulation can enhance memory and cognitive function. Intervention must be started as soon as possible. Even though new treatments are being created, early detection and aggressive lifestyle modifications continue to be the most successful approach. It's critical to identify symptoms early and establish habits like brain training, maintaining a healthy diet, engaging in regular exercise, and getting enough good sleep can all help to lower the risk of dementia and support long-term brain health. Even while research is still in its early stages, there is still a strong optimism that future medications will provide even more potent ways